Mr. Speaker, even from the county level. Most of these, Mr. Speaker, governors are becoming billionaires overnight. They are becoming demigods, Mr. Speaker. They are acquiring property in a satanic version, Mr. Speaker. Yet I'm told they are at, Mr. Speaker, they are converting and getting these allegations of corruption within that has been, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, the issue of EACC, we must agree. And I want to submit in a suamoto manner. Suamoto manner, Mr. Speaker. Suamoto manner to the chairperson of JLAC, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to the Committee of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. In a suamoto manner, after this tabling, they should bring us the status of the fight against corruption in counties, Mr. Speaker. It is very unfortunate in this country, Mr. Speaker. For example, in Nandi, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, in the financial statements of 2024-2025, the county government of Nandi hired car hire services for 42 million, Mr. Speaker. But is that the prudent use of the resources?
Point of order from Senator Izena. What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, on a statement of facts, is it in order for Senator Cherargei to allege that the only success the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has ever achieved was following up on a bribe of 20 million Kenya shillings? 20,000 Kenya shillings. Mr. Speaker, we are well aware of the successes that the Commission has made, especially on arresting several governors charged with corruption. Can he withdraw and apologize?
I assume your seat as you reason to the point of order. Okay, proceed. Go ahead. You have heard what Senator Zen has requested you to do.
Mr. Speaker, the answer can bear me witness. I said in the last session when I was the chair jailer, one of the success stories that was stable, and it is in this house, was a 20,000 bribe. Mr. Speaker, you know corruption is fighting hard, and if you want to be a gatekeeper of some of these institutions, you should know how to approach the game. We are experienced. Approach us so that we teach you. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, and that is why I was concluding by saying, Mr. Speaker, on these 42 million car hire services, there is no justification. We must, Mr. Speaker, in Nandi.
Senator Zena, is that correct? How Senator Sigei has responded?
It is not correct, Mr. Speaker, because he cannot allege that we are gatekeeping for these commissions. I have had the privilege to work with EACC, and we know very well that this is a country ruled by law. And we know I have the privilege of information that EACC has done so much to follow up on the cases of corruption in this country. He is well aware, since he is very famous in this country, he knows that equally the same media has broadcasted on issues of corruption, and some of these governors have even come before this house. You cannot reduce the efforts of a whole commission to one instance of a case of 20,000 shillings in your committee. We must give credit where it's due, and we must give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
Senator Chelagay, just conclude because...
I think for whatever it was, or it is worth, I just leave it there. So, Speaker, that is why I was concluding. For example, I was saying, for example, in Nandi, how do you have a government vehicle that hire services for 42 million, Mr. Speaker? It is very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, EACC also must be prudent because it is called anti-corruption ethics and anti-corruption. So the issue of even prevention of corruption must be on the top line. And that is why the EACC Act. So I hope in 30 days, we should be given the inventory of the governors and the MCS who are putting their images. Mr. Speaker, the only time somebody should be allowed to put their images is you can put it in your house when you're having a wedding, baby shower, you get a new kid, or in your eulogy. But to put in a government property is very, and even your personal album, Mr. Speaker, or when you are sending somebody you like in WhatsApp or you are using any other form, Mr. Speaker. So we must agree with these committee reports that let us agree in 30 days, and I hope the majority leader, you know, we don't have implementation committee, I don't know. And I know our standing orders, I heard majority leader saying this, at least at some point, Mr. Speaker, the chairperson of devolution will stand up and tell us this is the report that the ACC has given us, and I don't know if we can recommend for further tabling of the report. Mr. Speaker, for the interest of my colleagues also to have the bite to this cherry, allow me to raise my submissions, Mr. Speaker, and thank you very much, and I support this motion.
Senator Sifuna.
You know, Honorable Speaker, I have heard the majority leader speak, and I've heard Senator Cherargei speak without any interruption. I want to call on your protection early on because of the things that I want to say. I would prefer that I be heard in silence, Honorable Speaker. Number one, I want to tell the Senator for Nandi that there is nothing like government property. Everything that the government owns is owned by the taxpayer. It's our money. It is ours to do with as we please. So nobody will lecture us about how to misuse our property. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, when we talk about taxpayer money, it is not just the money that goes to the county governments that is taxpayer money. Even the national government money is taxpayer money. It broke my heart, Honorable Speaker, just a few days to see a whole doctor posting on Twitter that after all the noise they made out here, Honorable Speaker, when they were coming here, when they were on strike saying the Senate should do something because health is devolved, after all the push we gave as a house to the medical doctors to push the National Assembly to allocate money to them in the current budget, a whole doctor goes on Twitter and says, "Thank you, President Ruto, for giving us money." That's not his money. That is public money. Honorable Speaker, that is public money. Number two, Honorable Speaker, as a taxpayer in this country, there are very few things that make me happy because we have serious problems with the way that this government utilizes our property. Honorable Speaker, the only time when you drive around this country and you see a road sign that says road maintenance levy, your taxes have been used to improve this road, that's the only time that I feel proud to be a taxpayer in this country. But all these other times, when you talk about people putting their photos everywhere, I have seen governors, whenever there is a tax waiver, his photo is bigger than the message that is in the newspaper. I have seen governors buying billboards. The face occupies 3/4 of the billboard. The message is so small, the rest of the billboard is his face. Honorable Speaker, even this week, I have seen a governor who is my friend, and I have to say this because I want him to succeed. He has bought time on Citizen TV, prime time. I was watching the news at night, and I see a governor advertising a project that is funded by the county government, and he's saying that this project has been funded by so and so. I was very shocked. Where do you get the money, Honorable Speaker? I don't want to be informed.
Sifuna, do you want to be informed?
I don't want to be informed. I'm in the middle of teaching. I'm in the middle of a lecture. Honorable Speaker, so I was very shocked. You all have TVs, you can pay subscription, you will see the governor. So, Honorable Speaker, I ask that you protect me. When I began this submission, Honorable Speaker, I asked that you protect me because I knew this would happen. Honorable Speaker, we have seen images of governors.
What is your point of order, Senator Chelge? Under which standing order are you raising the point?
Mr. Speaker, I stand under standing order 101 on contents of speech. When Senator Sifuna says he's teaching us, is it part of the rules of debate, Mr. Speaker? Are there children that he's teaching here? All of us are distinguished senators, and that governor, by the way, Mr. Speaker, is Governor George Natembeya. That is why he's fearing to say.
Maybe he's teaching citizens of Kenya.
In fact, Honorable Speaker, if you look upstairs, you will see there are children there. Yeah, so allow me to teach. And when I'm standing here, I am not just speaking to this House, Honorable Speaker, I'm speaking to the country. So, Honorable Speaker, I have seen images of governors on something as mundane as milk packets for school milk, even on meals, Honorable Speaker. So that you want to tell us that this is Sifuna is doing. Eh? I have seen my colleagues in the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, every single national government CDF-funded project, they have to find a way to put their names on it. Even after the courts ruled that this thing is unconstitutional, they changed now. They say, oh, this is financial year 2022-2023, patron. Then they write Edwin Sifuna, patron. Honorable Speaker, this Mr. Musundi has identified a proper problem in this country. And we want to be able to say that every single coin that is utilized by national and county governments is actually our money. That's our property. Honorable Speaker, I've seen these patrons disbursing bursary checks, and they want to greet the parent and look them in the eye and ask them, who is the person who gave you this check? Then they say it is Sifuna. Then they say, remember me in 2027. Mr. Speaker, you would think that that money is their money. And one of the things I don't understand, these members of the National Assembly make the dishing out of checks to appear like something that is so appointed. Like a clerical job, who cannot dish out, who cannot, if your office wrote checks, how difficult is it to distribute checks? It's a physical transaction. So they come and make noise here and tell us all about how children will not go to school. Honorable Speaker, and that check has 2,500 shillings on it. There are people here who are educating children and they don't even announce it. Honorable Speaker, they should come to our offices so that we tell them, all those children that I have paid school fees for, even if you see a single one of them with a picture of Sifuna, you should ask me. They go there and they say, this is the so-and-so who did it for me. But you don't see me presenting checks here in Nairobi saying, oh, Sifuna is issuing bursaries today. That is not your money. Can you show us photos of you issuing your own money so that you leave this public money aside, Honorable Speaker? Then, Honorable Speaker, the majority leader even wanted us to extend this thing to Plex. There was a young man who was going around this country called Morara, auditing national projects. The country is led by Plex, written, oh, this project was commissioned by William Ruto on this particular day, on this particular day. Those are the other plaques that we need to go for, because that is not Ruto's money. He should also remove his name on those plaques. Honorable Speaker, it is the truth. The majority leader told us we need to extend it to plaques. I can show you those plaques.
Senator Sifuna, there is a point of order again from Senator Chalge.
Mr. Speaker, I rise again understanding 101 on contents of speech, Mr. Speaker. This obsession by Senator Sifuna or President William Ruto must stop. If he wants to discuss the president, he should bring a substantive motion. Then we can handle at that point. He should stop this obsession, Mr. Speaker. Please, protect, because the president is not here to defend himself. Because when you are making such assertion against anyone, they have a right to be here to defend themselves. But since he's not here, he should just stop dragging. You know, majority leader can defend himself because he's here, Mr. Speaker. Can the Honorable Senator withdraw and apologize or substantiate, Mr. Speaker? Because when he says there are plaques that are littered with the name of President William Ruto in the country, that is not a statement of fact and standing order 105.
Senator Chalage, just a minute ago, you are requesting to be given the names of the governors. Correct. You have the plaques. No. Also, you mentioned the name of a certain governor. Correct.
Mr. Speaker, can I finish?
Speaker,
can I finish? Mr. Speaker, can I finish?
Too long.
Can I finish?
Listen, Senator Chalage, since too long cannot make a right. Also, Senator Sifuna, there was a communication from the chair about that standing order to avoid mentioning names of state officers who are not in this house. Maybe unless you bring a substantive motion.
Honorable Speaker,
can I finish?
No, can I finish?
Sit down, Bwana.
You are not the Speaker.
All the senators.
You are not the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, why is Senator Sifuna ordering me? You are the Speaker.
Resume the seat.
Resume your seat, Senator Sifuna. Let me finish what I was saying. I'm saying as much as possible, you know, those plaques, those billboards and everything, whatever it is, avoid mentioning names of whatever billboard you saw, so that now we can make progress, Senator Chalge.
Honorable Speaker, can I proceed, please?
Yes, but
Honorable Speaker, we are not discussing personalities. We are discussing our money. The Senator for Narok, Honorable Speaker, came from a time when he was hosting the president in his county. So he came back and told us, oh, We have been given an airport in Narok. The contractors are there day and night. So one time I had been given a lift by a friend of mine. We were coming from somewhere in Western. I said, I want to see this airstrip in Narok that has a contractor day and night. So I asked the pilot to fly over that space. Honorable Speaker, there is a plaque sitting there. There are no contractors there. That young man called Morara has gone around the whole country, he has shown us. Even when you go to the so-called stadium in Wote, if you go to Camarine Stadium, you will find those plaques there. Honorable Speaker, we cannot have these gatekeepers of the executive in the legislature. You do your job, let him do his job. So, Honorable Speaker, when he was going, Honorable Speaker, can you protect me from this heckler?
Senator Chigre, kindly.
No. Honorable Speaker, do you know?
Points of order are not making sense now.
Honorable Speaker, there is...
Senator Chalagay, can you allow...
You know, when you are used to using matatus, have you ever been a chopper? You can see.
No.
Honorable Speaker, protect me from
Senator
this.
Chalagay. Senator Chalagay, I'm giving you the first warning this afternoon. I'm giving you the first warning. No point of order.
Honorable Speaker, please.
Let Senator Sifuna be in silence.
Thank you.
To conclude his...
Honorable Speaker, so the point that I was making, Honorable Speaker, is that those plaques with names of either projects that have been started or concluded should bear the same sign that I told you about, the Road Maintenance Levy Fund. It should say, your taxes have built this stadium in Wote. Your taxes have built this stadium in Camarine, which doesn't exist, by the way. Honorable Speaker, let me conclude by commenting on something he said. And I was very quiet when he spoke, so I hope he will be quiet too. Honorable Speaker, as a responsible government, you cannot tell us to wait for you to face you in 2027, and you are killing us today. Albert Ojwang is in the ground. He will not be able to meet William Ruto in 2027. So if we stopped, all of us, if all of us agreed, all of us should agree.
Senator
all of us
Sifuna,
should agree.
Senator
Honorable
Sifuna,
Speaker, please don't stop me.
You are now contravening standing on the 121.
Now the Speaker himself is interrupting me.
Standing on the 121. I gave a ruling, I gave you guidance. You know you cannot do elections in the Senate. We don't do elections in the Senate. So avoid mentioning names of state officers. I warned you. I cautioned you. That is the first caution again, understanding on the 121.
Very well, Honorable Speaker.
And you know the consequences.
Very well, Honorable Speaker. Very well, Honorable Speaker. What I'm saying is this. All of us must agree that if decisions are being made democratically at an election, can we guarantee that all of us get to that election? Because you can't tell me to wait for you at the ballot and then you make sure I don't get there. Is Albert Ojwang supposed to vote from the grave? There's no such polling station. So when you talk about a state officer standing up and saying you can shoot people, as if people don't die from gunshot wounds. Honorable Speaker, we saw Rex Masai, the young man who was killed during the protest, was shot in the leg. So how can you tell people to shoot people in the leg as if those injuries are sustainable injuries? So, Honorable Speaker, we want to make it very clear that as a country, we have totally lost our way. And we will not have a conversation with someone telling us to wait for 2027 when he's not giving us a chance to get to 2027. He has become an existential threat for this country, and he must go as soon as possible. I thank you.
Senator Wakiri Hilali.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, you will protect me from Senator Cherargei, particularly when he makes reference to the local dialect that he requests of me to speak to the House on. First, Mr. Speaker, I want to laud this gentleman called Laban Omusundi. He has not only been filing public interest petitions in this House on matters like what we are debating today, but also on matters that covers on the laws that we are legislating in this particular House. Mr. Speaker, in fact, as of today, we have, as JLAC, a report that we were meant to table on another petition that he has filed regarding the introduction of a framework on the recall of members of County Assembly And in that particular petition, he's saying that the law does not provide for it. So as a Kenyan, a patriotic Kenyan for that matter, I want to appreciate him because we've dealt with not one, not two, but more than 3 petitions as JLAC by this same gentleman. I needed to appreciate him so that as he continues to do that most of us do not or cannot do, he knows he's doing it because he's a patriotic Kenyan and he's doing the act that is expected of us, not only to keep the legislature in toss in terms of enactment of laws, but also in terms of public interest petitions that covers areas including where we are saying we do not want to continue seeing governors, members of parliament, members of county assemblies emboldening their names on resources of public which have been utilized to develop certain infrastructure in our various places. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee that dealt with this issue, and in particular the recommendation and the timeline they gave requiring the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to do certain actions within 30 days. Mr. Speaker, it is on public notoriety that almost all elected governors, members of parliament, and members of county assembly, in the simplest of the projects, including public toilets and some pit latrines, they publish their names saying that this particular project was done by so-and-so on this particular date without necessarily making reference to the fact that those are public resources. And Mr. Speaker, such publications in itself is abuse of office. In fact, it goes beyond unethical conduct, but it borders on abuse of office and is sufficient ground for someone to be brought to book and also be charged for abuse of office. And so to have a Kenyan like Laban Musundi to prick our conscience and ask of us to make certain recommendations and also to think through the actions that we do is something that not most of us would do. And for the committee to also invite this particular house to have a conversation around this and to invite the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to act is to remind us that these violations of the law, these violations of the guidelines that we do have are not only costly to the public, but they are potentially going to encourage unnecessary competition because one would, in the process of having seen someone politically made famous by the use of public resources, they would do it. My colleagues have made reference here of certain motor vehicles where they have indicated or even have a portrait of the person who is seen as the patron, whether it's a member of parliament who's funded, or rather who has facilitated the acquisition of such a school bus or an institution bus using CDF or public resources, and their portrait is appearing at the rear mirror or the rear window of the car. In itself, one would be forced to equally do the same. And I want to associate myself with the recommendation that even if you really would want to have your name there, then use your own resources, use your own money in your individual foundations or private life, use the resources that belongs to you and publish your name there. Let public resources be used for public resources, because if you were to look at the amount of these portraits of the billboards that are payable for one to display, that amount is sufficient to be utilized to do projects which would benefit the public. I therefore appreciate the work and the recommendation of the committee, and as Senator Cherargei said, we have indeed invited the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to give us an itemized status of the cases or reports which various committees of this House have made recommendations for their action. And in due course, we shall be able to table that particular report, having summoned the Commission before the committee. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Very well, Senator Zena, the Maletian. Not present, Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also stand in support of the report by the Standing Committee on Devolution on this petition by Laban. The Speaker, the issues that we as a Senate are called upon to deal with in the counties are major issues, and this is one of those issues. Mr. Speaker, all of us are born witness to situations where governors in particular counties want to behave as though their names are synonymous with their counties. That every little thing that they do, they want to do billboards with their names and their photos, indicating that they are the people and the leaders that are responsible for the projects that they are talking about. The Speaker, the thing that these people don't understand is that they are in office for, if they are lucky, 5 years. And if they get luckier, they may be 10 years, and that's it. They can never be in office for more than 10 years. The Speaker, some of us are insulted by images of leaders, governors, that the voters kicked out of office, but their images are still staring at us, the Speaker, and proclaiming ownership of projects in counties. Mr. Speaker, this petition by Laban and the recommendations by the Committee on Devolution is one instance where, as a Senate, we should actually move with speed, Mr. Speaker, and ensure that those billboards and those signages, whatever they are brought down, Mr. Speaker. Because there is one thing, Mr. Speaker, to say that they should not be erected going forward. It's a different story, Mr. Speaker, to have to endure the images of those governors and their names on those billboards, looking down on us every time we use it, whether it's a road or a project that was initiated and completed during their time. So, Mr. Speaker, I fully support the recommendations of the committee and thank Laban for bringing that petition to the Senate. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when I came in, I found my colleagues in serious conflict and a war of words over remarks that were being made by the senator for Nairobi. The Speaker, the one thing that we must agree, all of us, is that this country belongs to all of us. Every one of us. Those in authority and those under authority, the Speaker, this country belongs to all of us. There is one thing, the Speaker, that is getting very rare among us, and it gets me very worried. The Speaker, the tolerance levels in this country are really going very low. And it's a matter of concern for me as a leader, as a citizen of this country. The Speaker, people will hold different views on the same matter. It doesn't mean that those people must be enemies just on account of different views that they hold. The Speaker, authority is given to some offices, including our own office, the Speaker, as senators. We have the power to summon governors and state officers and grill them on issues of public concern. Mr. Speaker, the executive has been given powers by the Constitution to ensure the safety of our property and the safety of our lives, to make sure that this country runs and runs in a good way, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I keep saying that I am probably the least qualified to offer any advice to the executive, the national executive, or even the county executives. But Mr. Speaker, I want to plead with the national executive, led by His Excellency the President. I really want to plead. Mr. Speaker, we tone down rhetoric. We tone down our speeches. We be careful the things that we say in public for good reasons, Mr. Speaker. Because if our president then says certain things in public, chances are that some people will react to those things. They will answer him. That exchange, Mr. Speaker, is not good for us. This country needs serious healing and tolerance. Mr. Speaker, I know it is a very difficult thing to ask for, but I'll ask for anyway. I wish the president could find it in his heart to just even withdraw the orders that he gave yesterday about police shooting people in the leg. I just wish he could. Maybe he can't, but I wish he could. Because, Mr. Speaker, that's an avenue for serious bloodshed in this country. We don't want to go that route, Mr. Speaker. We want to differ politically, and we have said it openly and honestly, Mr. Speaker, and candidly, that for us in the opposition, we are going to be willing and persevere until 2027. We meet the president and his party at the ballot, and the Kenyan people will decide which team to elect into office. Mr. Speaker, that can only happen if we have a country by 2027. If we don't have a country in 2027, then even the conversation about the elections in 2027 will be moot conversations, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal for tolerance. I want to appeal, Mr. Speaker, that to whom much is given, more is required. A lot more is given to the office of the president. Much more is required from that office.
I don't want to cut you short, but be relevant to the motion. Understanding under 120. Stop diverting from the call agenda on the motion. If you want to discuss that matter, then you can know what to do. Just bring a motion. Let us discuss it.
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided.
Do you want to be informed?
Yeah, I can be informed, yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I want to inform Honorable Wambua, because he was not in the House, that in fact the person who started that discussion about the shoot to kill orders was Senator from Nandi during the debate. And in the rules of fairness, we also have to comment. And I have to point out that no point did I hear the Speaker interject and say that that is not relevant. So what's good for the gander must be good for the goose. Allow us to speak on matters of national interest, Honorable Speaker.
While on the floor, I gave guidance.
No, you never interjected to stop him. He's the one who brought that matters there. Honorable Speaker, you must be fair to both sides of the House. But you have to be fair to both sides of the House.
No.
Yeah, that matter, Senator Wambua was began by the Senator for Nandi. He spoke extensively, and we must respond to the things that he said.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, he will tell me when the information is enough, Honorable Speaker. You should allow him to say whether it is enough. I have more.
Senator Sifuna.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for the information, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am guided by your direction. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to remind this House that on the June 25th of 2024, when this House was invaded by young people, Mr. Speaker, everybody else took off. The National Assembly took off. And I remember I even reminded the majority leader yesterday in my conversation with him that the decision that the Senate took to stay the course and confront the issues as they were, to a very great extent, the Speaker, that decision by the Senate saved this country. The Speaker, we should never shy away from confronting our realities. We should never shy away from that. Even when, Mr. Speaker, there are serious conflicts, we should never shy away from confronting our realities. Because, Mr. Speaker, we are the upper house. That's what we pride ourselves to be. We are the upper house. And when the Senate speaks to the Speaker, the country should listen. The President should listen. The opposition should listen. When the Senate speaks, every other leader in this country, the Speaker, should be able to listen to what we are saying. The Speaker, I am guided by your direction that maybe we need to bring a motion to discuss these issues, maybe not, but the truth of the matter is, Mr. Speaker, we have an opportunity as a Senate to bring the temperatures down and make sure that the country moves in the right direction. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Mutinda, Tabitha, you can leave after she starts. No, he had just concluded. Senator Tabitha.
Thank you, Chair. I see my home senator, Senator Wambua, and my county senator, Sifuna, want me to speak. Before I even proceed, Mr. Speaker, to this motion, I would request very humbly if you would also recognize these beautiful students that I've been seeing walking in and out in your humble request as a group. There are so many schools as I can see. Anyway, allow me to proceed, Mr. Speaker. First
Senator
of all,
Tabitha, don't imply that is the chair who is not recognizing, because from where I'm sitting, I'm not able to see the students.
yes, and that's why.
I'm being guided by my assistants
Correct.
here, but I have not been alerted.
Yes, I know you
So
as my senator
don't imply
again.
that it is the chair Kaduri who is not.
I have
even
so many
recognized.
senators. I know you as my senator, you cannot see, and that's why in my wisdom I've courteously reminded. As I proceed, Mr. Speaker, allow me to start really appreciating the Committee of Devolution for the great work that they've done. I've even seen that after 30 days after the adoption of this report, and then the effect should take place upon us agreeing to this report. But I wish even it will take 14 days. 30 days is even long, because the matters that have been presented by this committee are very critical matters, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've heard from the committee whereby county cars have been branded individual leaders, whereby the notion is that these properties belong to individuals. Mr. Speaker, I remember when I was in the mediation committee just recently over the issue of division of revenue. And we kept on trying to get to a mediated version in terms of the amount that we were supposed to agree. And from where I sat, I could notice that members of the National Assembly would argue like this and say, this money being given to the governors, Mr. Speaker, and we really had to correct as senators, and corrected and indicated, this is not money that is being given to individual governors. This is not money to an individual. This is taxpayers' funding that should be utilized as per the law. Projects that need to be done should be done not for that particular governor, not for that particular leader, but for the people of that particular region. Monies that we've given to counties, Mr. Speaker, monies that we've always also advocated in terms of late disbursement and issues like that. It sounds like this money is being given to a certain person to control from their house how they want to control. This is not private money, Mr. Speaker. This is public money. Public money that is accumulated through the tax that we pay, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to emphasize something on the same. When we talk about these cars, when we talk about these buildings, Mr. Speaker, Senator Cherelgai, I would beg, give me silence. Mr. Speaker, public resources, Mr. Speaker, should be well utilized. Public resources are not just for that particular leader, for that particular financial year. They are for the generations and generations to come. We cannot be having budgets whereby one particular project is the same one that is being funded year in, year out. Why? Because we've allowed that public resources cannot be well utilized. It is wrong. Even if that public resource has been funded by the taxpayers' money, it is the responsibility of the leadership at that particular time to ensure that the standard of that particular asset is within the required standard, Mr. Speaker. Resources should not be misused simply because they are government resources. It is wrong, Mr. Speaker. We've seen also, Mr. Speaker, whereby at times public cars or government cars, Mr. Speaker, whereby number plates are removed and private number plates installed so that people can be able to use these government resources as if they are their own toys, Mr. Speaker. It is a high time, Mr. Speaker, that EACC cracks the whip heavily on this. If it is a government vehicle, let it be a government vehicle. Let inspection be done. Let the institutions, NTSA, traffic police, let them ensure that those government vehicles are also up to standard. Because we've seen whereby people want to misuse. They don't care. Because nobody has gone through the pain of investing and talking about, niya serikali. It is wrong, Mr. Speaker. It is the high time that when we adopt this particular report, we want to see EACC in collaboration with NTSA, in collaboration with the traffic police, ensure that those properties are to standard, those properties are well utilized, and that so-called branding, be it on those cars, Mr. Speaker, be it even on those schools that we're being told someone has branded their names. So how many photos should we have? Now, let me ask this question, Mr. Speaker. In the event, for example, the ministers, today we call them cabinet ministers, we used to call them what? Whereby if a minister has been appointed, case example, Minister for Health. Now, today, you can imagine going to the Ministry of Afya House, actually, and finding a big portrait of Mheshimiwa Duale there, because he's the minister. Tomorrow, if you have another minister called Minister Mutinda, you find another big portrait there. What kind of business are we doing? A leader should ensure that they perform as per the required mandates and all that. It's not about how many billboards you've put. And number two, even where is that money coming from? Which are these resources that we keep on using during all this branding? And then after that person, that leader leaves office, rebranding needs to be done. It's not about, Mr. Speaker, how much someone has been able to do. It's more of the assets that have been put in place using the public fund are well utilized, are to the standard that is required, that is needed, Mr. Speaker. That is what is important, Mr. Speaker. I would even ask myself, in the event that EACC is undertaking their role, and they find, for example, leader A, leader B, or C has, issues to answer or has been found guilty on corruption matters. So then why can't we allow EACC to also have billboards all over this country of those leaders who have misused funds? So that it's a two-way traffic, Mr. Speaker. Why can't we allow EACC to put on billboards these rogue leaders? If the money that is supposed to fund projects and do what is needed is the same money that leaders are using for branding of themselves, Mr. Speaker. It's not even a campaign time, Mr. Speaker. Allow, Mr. Speaker, for me to say that I also want to agree partly with what my other home senator, Senator Wambua, has talked about when he says as leaders, as politicians, we also need to minimize the politicking that we are so good at, Mr. Speaker. Instigating and bringing about temperatures. Kenyans are hungry, it's true. Kenyans are frustrated, it's true. But we cannot be then the leaders who are not offering solutions. We should be leaders who are offering solutions. This country is not for one individual. It is for all of us. This country is not for one community. It is for all of us. And it's a high time, Mr. Speaker, actually, even the young generation, I would wish them that when they get blessed and have their little ones and young ones, even instead of giving them the vernacular surnames, if a kid is born and the mother is called Tabitha and the father is called Enoch, it should be Tabitha Enoch. This thing of this tribal is what we are still instigating up to date. The conversation that is there, Mr. Speaker, today is a community conversation, which is still bringing more issues and more anger to our people. Our young people need jobs. And that conversation can only be done on tables with the relevant leaders, led by none other than Dr. William Ruto, the president of this country, putting the business people on table, putting the church leaders on table, putting our university leaders on table, putting us, the leaders of this nation, on table for us to have an economic discussion that is going to ensure, Mr. Speaker, our young people are able to get opportunities, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mutinda, there is a point of order from your neighbor.
All right.
Sana mstahiki spika. Mstahiki spika, kulingana na kanuni za spika kwa mavazi, seneta yote anafaa kuwa amevalia vinavyotakikana, na hiyo pia inafaa kuwa viatu. Seneta Tabitha tafsiri yake anatoa kwa mguu chuma, ana viatu. Na ndio maana mstahiki spika unamwona kwa hii kawaida anakuanga mrefu, sasa amekuwa mfupi kama mwezi wa Februari. Nauliza mstahiki spika, hiyo ni ungwana kweli?
Sasa Seneta Murango, mpaka umekagua Seneta Mutinda ukaona hajavaa viatu, unajua nilifikiria unaangalia nguo ya juu.
Mstahiki spika, katika kusitasta kwako ashavaa viatu. Kwa hivyo sina hoja kuashirisha tena. Asante sana mstahiki spika.
Nilikuwa nataka ufafanue sababu umemulika.
Spika, unajua mstahiki spika, nimekaa karibu sana na Seneta Tabitha. Na unajua ni kawaida ya wanaume kuwaona sana wanawake na wanaume na wanawake kuwaona sana wanaume. Sasa mstahiki spika, huyu kwa sababu ni dada yangu, na kulingana na ile hali niliyo nayo na ile majukumu nimepewa kutoka nyumbani, ni kuhakikisha kwamba anavaa vipasavyo na wala hatoki katika njia ambazo tumewafundisha wao kama wazazi. Kwa hivyo ndio maana nimeangalia na kuona kwa maana viatu, lakini ashavaa, nadhani ataendelea namna hiyo. Asante sana mstahiki spika.
Senator Mutinda, Tabitha.
Karibu, sorry, I was almost again speaking in...
the majority leader wants to inform you.
Okay. Yes, I'd love to be informed.
Thank you, Senator Tabitha. You know, I wanted to inform her because I've heard her speak on this topic, and this is something I also wanted to say to Senator Wambua, but I didn't get the opportunity. On cooling this topic that they are speaking to, including Senator Tabitha, that we must find a way of bringing sanity back to the country. You know, part of bringing sanity, Senator Tabitha, include us being honest with ourselves and stop being dishonest to the country. Mr. Speaker, there has been a conversation in the country about who owns the goons. You hear people say they belong to so-and-so. If you want to know who owns the goons, Mr. Speaker, it is those who defend them, Mr. Speaker. Because we have a challenge in the country now, Mr. Speaker, where every time people say they want to protest, there are goons that take advantage and break into people's shops. They are breaking into police stations. They are stealing. I saw in your county, they stole milk from the most successful cooperative in the country. Therefore, Senator Tabitha, if you want to address yourself to that particular topic, you must be honest and condemn those goons. Anybody trying to pretend that they want to solve that particular problem, but they are only addressing one facet of the problem, because I listened to what the president said, Mr. Speaker. He didn't say protesters be shot. He didn't say anybody be shot. He said, if you find these people that are breaking into people's homes, harassing, raping women, stealing people's property, immobilize them and take them to court, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, if you want to know the owners of the goons, Mr. Speaker, it is those that are either defending them or saying absolutely nothing about their conduct.
Mutinda, you are well informed, isn't it?
Very well informed. I never thought that my good colleague, Senator Morango, would walk out. I was just curious. I have one of the most unique hairstyles. I thought he would be looking from up. I just got astonished what he was really looking down there. All said, Mr. Speaker, allow me to conclude, Mr. Speaker, and from where I was briefly interrupted. Mr. Speaker, the conversation that I'm talking about is a conversation as leaders that we need to welcome discussions and conversations. Yes, Mr. Speaker, when I say that it should not be about, we should not